Yes.
So, Hallie, when you did your research, you were mentioning to me that every research article that you and I went through, you mentioned that every one of them had at least one paragraph and thank you cards.
Yes, thank you cards were a big portion of each interview article.
Right, and you and I discussed, right, well, what does that look like today? Is it hard, handwritten, hard copy cards we throw in the mail or hand off, or is it electronically? It's an email we sent to follow up, thank you, and we discussed that. I believe the thank you card is important, but one of the things, let me say crystal clear up front, the thank you card is not going to make and break your interview.
Right.
The interviewers technically cannot give you more or less points based on a thank you card. The thank you card is about two other things that are very important, right? Professionalism and your reputation. As you can imagine, those two tie together. Professionalism, because you spent an hour with these people. You put a lot of work into preparing for the interview. They did the best to take note of the accomplishments you had. And that thank you card it's a professional means of gratitude towards each other. The other reason why, it's about your reputation. Especially if you're an internal candidate. I tell the customers I work with, if you work in the organization that you are applying for jobs, whether it be a lateral or a promotion, every day you step out of your car and you walk about your building or your agency or whatnot, you are being interviewed. People are watching your professional dress and appearance. They're listening to the way you carry yourself in conversation. They're watching the way you interact with people who have more experience than you, or also watching the way you interact with people who have less experience with you. Right. So you definitely want the thank you card is a part of your professionalism and your reputation. To showing it's an expression of gratitude. Definitely do it. I would recommend, just based on the managers, I've spoke to several of them about it. Most of them say that it's important to them. Most of them say that they would like it as a handwritten card they receive in the mail. And the ones that say they don't care about them or it's not important to them, when I ask the second question, if they do that when they interview for a job, they all say yes, they do it. So, I mean, you read between the lines, it's important to them. And when I ask them, well, do you prefer electronic versus handwritten? Most of them say handwritten. Some of them say they prefer electronic. But again, when I ask them the second question, how do you write thank you notes or cards or whatnot? They still write them handwritten cards, old school.
Right.
And they send them. Yeah.
The thank you card kind of goes back to losing gracefully. Yes. Well, I guess we didn't really cover that. So losing gracefully ties into the thank you letter.
Yes, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on losing gracefully, and how can you do that?
Let's cover that later on. Separate. Let's cover that
separate?
separately. Yeah, I like that separate.
Okay.
Because it does tie to the professionalism and all that.
Okay, like that was it. So like